WBRP. All right, we're going to shift our focus over to the movie business here in Baton Rouge. Welcome in Katie Pryor from the Baton Rouge Film Commission. Welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
Doing very well this morning. And to you as well. All right, busy year this year?
Very busy year.
He asked sarcastically.
Do I not look tired? I'm exhausted. Good year.
Absolutely. So obviously National Treasure is the headline, right? I mean, that was just huge for us. It was so much fun. Was it back in June or July where we got to take the tour?
I think it was July. Okay. We were out there, nice and roasty toasty.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Set, they keep that cold, so it was fine. But yeah, shooting Baton Rouge as Baton Rouge, you really couldn't ask for more.
So just how involved did this get? Because this was the playbook. This was what you want. If you were writing about what the ideal would be for bringing film to town, it was use all over the place.
Absolutely. Did you? I know you've seen the first 3 episodes because they've all aired.
I'm behind.
Oh no! Catch up. Everybody listening, catch up.
That's the plan for this weekend. As I have some time, I want to watch them with my kids.
Oh,
I'm a huge National Treasure fan.
Oh,
nice. But still the Declaration of it. I was like, that's totally my type of movie. My wife makes fun of me because I watch it every single time it's on. So I want to bring the kids in on this one and nerd them out as well.
You'll have a field day. There are nods to the movie franchise in it as well that you'll catch if you're an expert. But I mean, it's amazing, and I think the energy, the excitement could be seen. We hosted a community screening for the crew that had worked on it because it produced a couple hundred jobs in the area.
Yeah.
And so we had the Breck Independence Theater, and we showed episode 1 and 2 before it aired. And every time a person in the show says, "I'm in Baton Rouge," you hear the audience go, "Ooh," or they say, "Let's go to USS Kidd," or anything that's very specific to our area. And then as soon as they hit a street, everybody's like, "Oh, I know that street.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that spot." And it's incredible.
So, but along with that though, the main thing is it was Baton Rouge as Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
not Baton Rouge as downtown Tokyo or a battleship,
exactly,
or anything like that. It was Baton Rouge as Baton Rouge.
Yeah, which I mean, you think about it, you've got over 40 million subscribers to Disney Plus, so you can't pay for that kind of marketing value for every. The show is based on historical locations that has historical significance, and they study the history of Baton Rouge. They visit all our places. They call them by name. They're showing everything to all those viewers. I mean, you can't pay for that kind of marketing. It's incredible. Now,
along with that, though, there were some places that were Baton Rouge but weren't as well.
Like the Alamo?
Like the Alamo.
Yeah. You might not notice, but City Club downtown posed as a couple of different things in it. And then they built the Alamo right in front of the Capitol. So that was interesting.
Very cool.
And that was all because this is movie magic. That was all because there's one tree specifically in the Alamo, in the real Alamo, that they were trying to mimic. And they scoured all of Baton Rouge, and apparently that one tree was on Capitol grounds, and we found it, and they built the Alamo around it.
How cool is that?
Isn't that neat?
That is neat. We're talking with Katie Pryor from the Baton Rouge Film Commission. So while National Treasure is garnering all the headlines, let's continue with it. Is there more to come from this? Because it feels like all signs are pointing towards yes, but do we have anything yet?
Well, I'd like to push that back on all your listeners and give everybody some homework.
Yes.
Not only do you need to watch it, but please leave it streaming. Show them how much we love it. And it depends on how well the first season does, as all television shows these days.
Yeah.
So I just tell everyone, watch it.
Well, we're in for this weekend over in the Haldane house. What else are we looking at as far as what was in Baton Rouge in 2022?
I think with the Christmas holiday, it's a perfect time to watch. I call it Family Christmas because that was its original, but it came out on Hallmark as my Cajun Family Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was done by a filmmaker, Daniel Lewis, who works a lot in our area. Is from Louisiana.
Okay.
Made that, and it went straight to Hallmark, which is incredible. The turnaround on those is just absolutely incredible. Very family friendly. Following
those movies is ridiculous.
Yeah, people are very enthusiastic. It's really funny too because, this one's less formulaic than I think a lot of Hallmark movies are. But it is funny because people go, "What do you think? What is it about? What's it about?" And I go, I mean, can you guess? Do you really want? I can't give spoilers. That's a big no-no, and everybody wants to know, where is this person? Where is this scene? And until it comes out, I can't share anything. But with that one, I'm like, take a guess.
Yeah. It's a Hallmark Christmas movie.
It's not really a murder mystery.
Right.
So, yeah.
The Iron Claw was another big one this year. Which, yeah, I've got a lot of friends who are wrestling fans, so they're very much dialed in.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't realize what a big deal that was. We had scouted with them for, this is one of those projects that we revisited after pandemic. So we had scouted with them years ago.
Okay.
And then they made the decision to get moving again after the pandemic, and they came here. And it was fun to scout for, and it was a great group of people, A24 Studios, and such a polite group, honestly, very wonderful people. But when they came in, everyone's like, "Oh, Iron Claw, the Van Erickson family," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know," but I Googled it fast.
I was the same way. So I have a number of friends who are just like absolute wrestling fanatics.
Yeah, they know,
and they always talk as if everyone is. So I'm like, I had to get caught up very quickly as well. I grew up liking wrestling, but like Hulk Hogan, not this kind of a deep cut.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, and then Zac Efron has a huge pull.
This isn't Zac Efron's first visit to Baton Rouge, was it? I
don't think.
I'm missing it now in my brain. There was something else. It was well before the pandemic, though. So
it must have been well before my time.
Possibly.
When he was still young and singing. And
yes. Are we to that point now, though, where people are making repeat appearances, like the actors themselves can say, "Yeah, been to Baton Rouge, would love to go back," or "Been to Baton Rouge and going back"?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes that gets lumped into Louisiana. People are like, "Oh, I've been in Louisiana. I'd like to come back," and then specifically Baton Rouge, and we'd love to come back. And that's a big feedback point that I try and get from not just the actors, but the directors and producers, because I definitely want to make sure they have enjoyed working here and it's easy and smooth for them, because they're the decision makers on whether or not they want to come back.
Well, the ones behind National Treasure seemed elated while they were here.
They did. They had
Even
a fantastic time. Yeah,
they would have been melting. But no.
I know. Catherine Zeta-Jones, they did a lovely welcome video for us, and Catherine Zeta-Jones said, everything was great, except maybe I shouldn't have worn wool pants the whole time, because her costume is all wool.
Yeah.
Poor, bless her heart. But I'll send you the video, and you can post it online with everybody's positive feedback. And the food is always a hit.
Of course.
And really the people, a lot of times when you go film somewhere, you set up shop, you become an instant resident very quickly, and you have to like where you are. And Baton Rouge is just very welcoming. We're always happy. And the Wibbs, the Wibberleys, they call them the Wibbs, the couple that wrote it, also wrote all the movies. They loved it, and they stayed downtown, and they went and got to know everybody, and they knew the person they were getting coffee from, they knew the person they were serving them at their meals, and they loved it. Just friendly.
On the set for National Treasure, where they had the house that was built out, I was picking their brain way too much, probably pestering them a little bit, but I was like, where in town is this supposed to be? And it wasn't like a set location. I'm like, okay, I'm just telling you now, this is Broadmoor. The house they built out was a Broadmoor house. It was the ranch style with the open space and like open, back entertaining area and all the other stuff. I'm like, you don't even realize how Baton Rouge you've gotten this quickly, because you just built a house in Broadmoor.
They really, Baton Rouge is on screen in so many ways, not just our historical locations, but Squeaky Pete's is a huge repeat, and they call it Squeaky Pete's. And then the interior of the house does look like local architecture and everything. It's interesting. Graceland was here too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah, they shot, I can say it because last night's episode was, they showed Graceland, and they had to double it here in Baton Rouge.
Very cool. All right, so we had the big name ones. What else has been in town that might not have been that much of a headline grabber?
See, I really like that you asked that, because I think everybody thinks it's just the headlines, but we had over $400,000 in spending on independence. And that's everything from commercials to music videos to shorts. We try and track all of that, because that's really the sign of a healthy film economy, one that's growing. So you have somebody that's making a short, and then they've worked on a feature to get their experience and worked on, a well-oiled machine that's Disney's doing or whatnot. And then they can go make their own and build their talent and pay their bills one way, and then produce their work the other way, which is really incredible. And there was a local filmmaker who came out with a romantic comedy, Days of Daisy. It was at the premiere at the Manship, and that's Jency Hogan and her team, and it's loosely based on her and her husband's story. And they just got distribution, which is a huge deal for independent filmmakers. Yeah. And that's what's growing in the economy. That's what makes it last forever.
We're talking with Katie Pryor from the Baton Rouge Film Commission, kind of getting a recap of 2022 and setting the table for 2023. when it comes to the film industry in Baton Rouge. And Katie, honestly, my favorite part of it, as much as I love the art of the filmmaking, the business of filmmaking is where it's at. Because when it all comes down to it, this is all about, are my neighbors employed? Is my neighbor's mortgage being paid? Are my neighbors, this is a part of our overall economy. It is a job sector at this point. It's not like when True Blood was here and you'd see Sookie out at Sullivan's or something like that. That was the cool factor. This is the business end, is where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's a cheesy line, but it's called show business, not show art. This is a business. And because it produces entertainment, it gets looked down upon and people think, oh, it's just that.
Right.
But if you look at the numbers behind it, I teach an entire course at LSU on this, the economic drivers of film and the spend and whatnot. I mean, you're looking at billions, that's a B, billions of dollars globally. And it's filming everywhere. And what's convenient right now for the film industry, and I tell all my students this, it's a great time to be working in the film industry, because before COVID, that's like saying Voldemort, before the pandemic, there was...
all good here, all good.
There was a box office model, and now it's heavy streaming model.
Yeah.
And now the streamers are in a competition to see who can get the most original content, because that keeps and gains subscribers. So you've seen a massive increase on spending, and you will through 2025. It's projected to be in the billions and billions and billions of spend to get their own content.
While we were in the heart of the pandemic, while everything was on lockdown and businesses had to stop, there developed a backlog of creativity. There was a backlog of scripts, a backlog of projects. Where are we right now in clearing that backlog? Yeah. Are we anywhere?
Well, a backlog paired with an increased appetite, because everybody was at home watching everything. And I think we're not where we were. I think we've caught up a little bit, but I think we'll never be pre-pandemic because of the way the model entirely shifted.
Right.
Because now not only was there pent-up demand, but now there's a whole new market of demand.
Baton Rouge as a community, the film business in Baton Rouge, were we at the right place at the right time with our own level of economic maturity within the business to be able to make that pivot? Like, not so fully entrenched like Los Angeles would have been, but we're a lot more shift on the fly here.
I mean, it was a great place to be for us here, because we have Celtic, largest purpose-built stages in the state. We have a healthy incentive program that's proven that it's sustainable. And we have trained crew throughout South Louisiana, and everything lined up perfectly. So it was a matter of making sure we found the project that fit here and bringing them in. And then we got to work with we were sending historical write-ups and information to the writer's room, and it was a pleasure working with National Treasure. But I mean, you really just couldn't wish for anything better.
Well, we are going to be wishing for more in 2023. Yeah. Can you give me 60 seconds on what's to come for next year? Obviously not teasing.
Yeah, we're scouting. Yeah, unfortunately, we're scouting some big projects. It's a medium and some big projects, and so it's waiting for that to land. But it's funny because fourth quarter is usually not the busiest, and this fourth quarter was insane. And so everyone's like, oh, now that we've won the Super Bowl, what's next? Like, hold on, we'll get there.
Exactly. Well, and that goes right back to the backlog, though, right? Everybody's chomping at the bit to get their content out there. In the meanwhile, we always appreciate the time. Look, the film business in 2023 is very much going to be on my radar. I've talked to you about this before. I'm going to be starting a podcast about the business of it. Because it's not like the actors are great, that's fine, but it's the people who have graphic design degrees. It's the people who have trade skills like carpentry and the like. It's everybody else who contributes to that overall and brings home their cut. They're They're paying their house note, like I said. To me, that's the fascinating part about all this.
Snaps. I'm in.
Glad to hear it. She is Katie Pryor with the Baton Rouge Film Commission. Appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.